Namo, Amitābha Buddha. Dear friends, I'm grateful you are here tonight. As the day finally grows quiet, may I ask you something? Have you ever laid down in bed, lights off body, exhausted, yet your mind refuses to rest? The house is still the street. Outside has gone silent, but inside your thoughts keep moving. Bills, responsibilities, family health, the future. Not loud enough to panic, but heavy enough to keep you awake. Many people in this country know this feeling well. We work hard. We carry a lot. We're taught to stay strong, to handle things on our own. And yet when night comes, the heart feels unsettled for reasons we can't always explain. If this sounds familiar, please know you're not failing and you're not alone. Sometimes the mind is restless, not because something is wrong with life, but because it has never been given a place to gently rest. Tonight, I want to share a simple Buddhist perspective, one that doesn't ask you to believe blindly or change who you are. It offers a quiet way to understand this inner unrest and a compassionate practice to help the mind soften, slow down, and feel safe again. Let us begin by listening to what this restless heart is truly asking for. That restless heart is often asking for something very simple yet deeply human. Not more success, not more control, just a place to finally exhale. Many people here live lives that look full from the outside. A steady job, a warm home, groceries in the fridge, a calendar packed with responsibility. Yet inside, there is a quiet hollowness that doesn't make sense. You did what you were supposed to do. You worked hard. You showed up. And still, something feels missing when the lights go out. Picture a familiar evening. The day has ended, dinner dishes are drying on the rack, and the television hums softly before being turned off. The phone is set face down on the nightstand. Outside, a neighbor's porch light flickers, and a distant car passes like a slow breath through the street. Everything suggests comfort. Yet when you lie down, your chest feels tight as if it never received permission to rest. I once spoke with a man named Michael. He worked long shifts, often overnight, driving home while the sky was still dark. He had a decent income, a modest home, and people who depended on him. But when he sat alone in his car before turning off the engine, his hands would linger on the steering wheel. He said it felt like the silence was heavier than the noise of the day. Not sadness exactly, more like a weight he couldn't name. This is a quiet suffering many carry. It doesn't announce itself with tears or crisis. It shows up as constant tiredness, as impatience with loved ones, as a mind that never fully powers down. It whispers late at night, asking questions we avoid during the day. Is this all there is? Why do I feel so far away from myself? In this culture, we are taught to be capable, independent, resilient. We are praised for holding it together. And so we learn to keep moving even when the heart is aching. We tell ourselves others have it worse. We push discomfort aside with work entertainment or endless scrolling. But the unease doesn't disappear. It waits. And when night falls, it rises gently, like a tide returning to shore. Buddhist teachings speak to this moment with great tenderness. They do not scold us for feeling empty. They do not tell us to be grateful and move on. Instead, they invite us to look closely and honestly. The Buddha taught that suffering does not only come from hardship, it can also arise from subtle clinging. The quiet belief that once everything is in place, we should finally feel complete. When life appears stable, the mind often tightens its grip. We cling to routines, identities, expectations. We cling to being the reliable one, the strong one, the one who never asks for help. Over time, this clinging hardens. It turns into tension in the body and restlessness in the mind. The heart becomes like a house filled with furniture, but no open space to sit and breathe. There is a gentle truth here that many overlook. Full schedules do not guarantee a full heart. Comfort does not automatically bring peace. Peace arises when the mind feels safe enough to stop grasping. When it is allowed to soften, even for a moment. Sometimes people believe this emptiness means something is wrong with them. But Buddhism offers another understanding. This feeling may be a sign of sensitivity, not weakness. A sign that the heart knows there must be a deeper way to live. Like a faint bell heard across a valley, calling us back to what truly matters. Think of a quiet temple at dusk. The air cools. A single bell sounds low and steady, not demanding attention, simply reminding those who hear it to pause. That sound does not fill the space. It creates space. In the same way, this inner emptiness is not asking to be filled with more noise. It is asking for room. Michael once told me that on certain mornings just before sunrise, he would hear birds begin to stir while sitting in his car. The sky would lighten almost imperceptibly. In those moments, his breathing slowed without effort. He said it felt like the world was reminding him that he didn't have to carry everything alone. This is the beginning of understanding. The heart is not empty because life has failed you. It feels empty because it has been carrying too much for too long without rest. Buddhist wisdom does not rush to fix this feeling. It listens, it bows to it, and then it gently shows a way to set the burden down. When we begin to see emptiness not as a flaw, but as an invitation, something shifts. The tension softens, the breath deepens. We realize that peace is not found by adding more to our lives, but by learning how to let the mind release its tight grip. In the next moments, we will explore what the Buddha taught about this clinging and how understanding it can bring real relief, not through effort or force, but through a simple change in how we relate to our own inner world. That quiet invitation to set the burden down opens a door most of us have never been taught to walk through. When we pause long enough to notice it, we begin to sense that the ache in the heart is not caused by the world pressing too hard, but by the way the mind keeps holding on. Look closely at how suffering often shows up. It is rarely loud at first. It feels like a tightness behind the ribs, a shallow breath, a jaw that clenches without permission. It appears when plans shift, when people disappoint us, when life refuses to move according to our careful calculations. The mind stiffens as if bracing against a wave that has already arrived. Many people believe their pain comes from circumstances, the long commute, the rising cost of living, the uncertainty of health, the weight of responsibility for family. These are real pressures, and they deserve respect. Yet Buddhist wisdom invites us to notice something subtler. Two people can face the same situation, and one is overwhelmed while the other remains steady. The difference is not strength or luck. It is how tightly the mind is gripping the story of how things should be. Imagine holding a smooth stone in your hand. At first it feels harmless, but if you squeeze it for hours, your muscles ache. The stone has not changed. Your grip has. In the same way, life continues to move unpredictable, imperfect, alive. Suffering intensifies when the mind insists that reality must match its expectations. I once met a woman named Susan at a small meditation group held in a quiet room behind a community center. A simple altar stood at the front, a candle flame steady, a faint scent of incense lingering in the air. Susan sat with her shoulders lifted high as if protecting her heart. She spoke softly about her frustration with her adult children. She wanted them to be safe, successful, and close. Every unanswered message tightened her chest. Every decision she disagreed with replayed in her thoughts late into the night. As she spoke, her fingers twisted the edge of her sweater. You could see the effort it took to remain composed. She was not angry at life. She was exhausted from trying to hold it still. The Buddha taught that suffering often arises not from change itself, but from resistance to change. Everything in this world is in motion. Bodies age. Relationships evolve. Circumstances shift like weather across an open field. When the mind forgets this truth, it demands permanence from what cannot provide it. That demand becomes tension. Tension becomes suffering. This teaching is not meant to make us passive or detached from life. It is an invitation to relate differently, to replace gripping with understanding, to meet uncertainty with softness rather than force. There is a moment many people recognize, though they may not have words for it. You are driving the radio, playing quietly when traffic suddenly slows. At first, irritation flares. The hands tighten on the wheel. Thoughts rush forward, calculating lost time. But sometimes, without planning it, you exhale. Your shoulders drop a fraction. You notice the sky widening ahead, the rhythm of your breath returning. The traffic remains. The struggle eases. That shift is not caused by the road clearing. It comes from the mind loosening its grip. Buddhist teachings describe this grip as clinging, not a moral failure, but a habit formed through fear and hope. We cling to comfort because we fear loss. We cling to control because uncertainty feels unsafe. We cling to identities being the provider, the caretaker, the reliable one because they give structure to a world that feels fragile. Clinging feels protective, but over time, it becomes a cage. The heart narrows. Joy becomes conditional. Peace is postponed until everything is resolved. The Buddha offered a different way of seeing. He taught that peace does not come from arranging life perfectly, but from understanding its nature. When we see that change is unavoidable, we stop arguing with it. When we accept that people are imperfect, including ourselves, the heart softens. When we recognize that discomfort will arise and pass like a wave, we learn how to stay afloat without fighting the water. This understanding is not cold or distant. It is deeply compassionate. It acknowledges how hard it is to live in a world that offers no guarantees. It recognizes the courage it takes to keep loving, working, and caring despite uncertainty. Susan experienced this understanding one evening during a simple practice. The room was quiet except for the hum of the heater. She sat with her eyes lowered, hands resting on her lap. As her breath settled, she noticed how often her mind reached for images of her children trying to fix, advise, protect. Each image brought a tightening, a subtle ache. Instead of pushing the thoughts away, she was guided to notice the feeling beneath them: fear, love, a deep wish for safety. As she allowed herself to feel these directly, something unexpected happened. The thoughts lost their urgency. Her breathing slowed. The muscles around her eyes softened, and her expression changed as if a long-held tension had gently released. Later, she said it felt like setting down a heavy bag she didn't realize she had been carrying. The situation with her children had not changed, but her suffering had. This is the heart of the teaching. Life does not need to become easier for peace to arise. The mind needs to become kinder toward reality. When we stop insisting that things must be different in order for us to be okay, we discover a quiet freedom. The breath deepens. The body feels more spacious. Moments of ease appear in unexpected places, in a warm cup of tea, in the sound of rain against the window, in the simple act of being present without needing to fix anything. The Buddha did not promise a life without challenges. He offered something more honest and more powerful, a way to meet life without being crushed by it. By learning to loosen the grip of the mind, we allow the heart to rest even in the midst of change. As this understanding settles, it prepares us for the next step. If suffering is not caused by life itself, but by the mind's habits of holding too tightly, then those habits can be gently transformed. And there is a simple, compassionate way to begin that transformation right here, right now. And this is where the teaching becomes very intimate, very close to your own experience. Because what we are speaking about is not something distant or abstract. It is already happening inside you, especially at night, when the world goes quiet and the mind finally reveals its patterns. In Buddhist understanding, karma is not fate written somewhere in the sky. It is habit. It is momentum. It is the way the mind has learned to move again and again in the same direction. During the day, these habits hide behind activity. Emails, conversations, errands, obligations keep the surface busy. But when the lights dim and the body lies still, the mind continues its work. It replays. It anticipates. It worries. It plans. It regrets. Like a radio left on in the next room, still broadcasting even when no one is listening. You may notice it the moment your head touches the pillow. The breath shortens slightly. Thoughts begin lining up as if waiting for their turn. A conversation from earlier resurfaces. A decision you are unsure about demands attention. A future scenario unfolds vivid and convincing. The room is dark, yet the mind is bright with movement. This is karma in action, not punishment, not destiny, just repetition. Think of a path across a field. The first time someone walks through tall grass, it takes effort. The second time is easier. After many crossings, a clear trail appears. The grass bends without resistance. The body knows where to step. Karma works the same way. Each time the mind reacts with fear, the fear path deepens. Each time it tightens around control, the muscles remember. Each time it rushes to solve imagined problems, the habit strengthens. At night, when the conscious effort to manage the day relaxes, these well-worn paths take over. The mind does not ask permission. It follows what it knows. I once sat with an older woman named Linda in a small Buddhist temple on the outskirts of town. The hall was simple. A wooden floor, worn smooth by years of quiet footsteps. A statue at the front, candlelight reflecting softly on its surface. Linda had come seeking help with sleep. She said her body was tired, but her mind felt like it was running a marathon in the dark. As she spoke, her hands rested in her lap, fingers slightly curled, as if holding something invisible. She described how every night the same worries appeared: health, money, her sister's loneliness. Things she could not fix, things she felt responsible for. The pattern was so familiar that she could almost predict the order of the thoughts. This predictability is important to notice. Karma does not surprise us. It repeats itself. Buddhist teachings explain that karma is created through intention, attention, and repetition. What we focus on emotionally charge and revisit again and again becomes the shape of our inner world. Over time, the mind begins to believe these patterns are reality itself. The body responds accordingly. Muscles tense. Breath becomes shallow. Sleep grows fragile. Yet here is the gentle truth that brings hope. If karma is habit, it can be changed. Not through force, not through fighting the mind, but through understanding and redirection. Change begins the moment we see the pattern without being pulled into it. When a thought arises at night and we recognize it as a habit, not a command, a small space opens. In that space, the body has a chance to soften. The breath can lengthen. The heart can rest. Linda experienced this one evening during a quiet sitting. The hall was still. The faint sound of wind moving through trees reached the open window. As she followed her breath, a familiar worry appeared. Normally, it would have carried her away. That night, she noticed it as if watching a leaf drift across water. Her shoulders dropped slightly. The grip in her fingers loosened. The thought passed on its own, leaving behind a surprising sense of relief. Nothing in her life had changed in that moment, but something in her relationship to her mind had. This is the heart of the teaching. Karma continues as long as it is fed. When attention and emotion stop fueling it, the pattern weakens. The mind begins to learn a new way of being. Nighttime is powerful because it reveals both the problem and the opportunity. When the body is still even small, shifts in awareness become noticeable. A single conscious breath can interrupt hours of unconscious tension. A moment of kindness toward oneself can soften years of self-criticism. Buddhist wisdom does not ask us to erase thoughts or control the mind. It asks us to understand it, to see how habits were formed through survival fear and love, to recognize that these habits once served a purpose, and to gently guide the mind towards something more restful. In many temples across this country, people come in the evening to sit quietly before returning home to sleep. They do not come to escape life. They come to learn how to lay it down piece by piece, at least for the night. The bell rings softly. The room fills with stillness. Faces relax. Breath settles. You can see it in the way their posture changes, as if a heavy coat has been removed. This is not magic. It is practice. It is the slow retraining of the mind to recognize safety in stillness. When we understand karma as habit, we stop blaming ourselves for restlessness. We stop seeing sleepless nights as failure. Instead, we see them as messages. The mind is asking for guidance. It is ready to learn something new. And this is where the path becomes practical. If habits are running through the night, they can also be gently redirected through the night. There is a way to give the mind a new anchor, something steady and kind to return to when old patterns arise. A simple practice that does not require effort or struggle, only presence. That practice begins with giving the mind a place to rest, something it can touch again and again until new pathways form and the night becomes a little quieter. And this is where the night begins to change, not because the mind is forced into silence, but because it is finally given something steady to lean on. When old patterns rise in the dark, the mind does not need to be argued with. It needs an anchor. Something simple. Something kind. Something that does not demand effort or analysis. In Buddhist practice, that anchor has always been close at hand, the breath and the gentle repetition of a sacred name. A single breath may seem insignificant, yet watch what happens when you truly follow it. The chest lifts slightly. The air cools the nostrils. The shoulders soften just a fraction. For a brief moment, the mind is no longer traveling backward or forward. It is here. That moment may be short, but it is real, and every real moment of presence weakens the pull of old habits. Adding the name of the Buddha to the breath gives the mind a home, not as a plea for rescue, but as a place of refuge. When you quietly recite Namo Amitābha Buddha something subtle shifts. The sound is gentle. The rhythm is steady. The mind, which was racing through worries and plans, now has a single path to follow. Like a child taking the hand of a trusted guide, it begins to slow down. This is not superstition, it is training. Buddhist teachings explain that the mind cannot hold two strong objects at once. When it is fully occupied with fear, fear grows. When it is occupied with a calm and wholesome focus, the restless patterns lose their grip. Each breath, paired with a sacred name, becomes a new habit, forming a fresh track laid across the field of the mind. I remember watching a man named Robert sit quietly at the end of an evening gathering. The lights were low. A candle flickered near the altar. His face, which earlier had been tight with worry, now looked softer. The lines around his eyes eased. His breathing was slow and even, like gentle waves meeting the shore. Later, he said he did not feel fixed, but he felt safe enough to rest. That safety was enough. This is how karma begins to shift. Not through dramatic effort, but through repetition infused with care. Each time the breath is noticed, a small interruption occurs. Each time the Buddha's name is repeated, the mind is guided back from its familiar loops. These interruptions may feel small, but they accumulate. Over time, the old pathways grow faint and new ones become easier to walk. At night, when the house is quiet and responsibilities temporarily release their hold, this practice becomes especially powerful. There is no audience, no pressure to perform, just you, the breath, and the gentle sound forming within. The room may be dim, but inside something steady begins to glow. Many people worry they are doing it wrong. They wonder if their focus is strong enough, their pronunciation correct, their faith sufficient. These concerns belong to the thinking mind, not the practice itself. The practice asks only for sincerity. Even a distracted breath counts. Even a whispered name heard only by your own heart counts. In Buddhist understanding, the Buddha's name carries qualities of compassion, clarity, and peace. Repeating it is not about reaching outward. It is about remembering what already lives within you. Each repetition is a reminder that you are not alone in this moment, even if the night feels long. In many homes across this country, people keep a small, quiet space. A shelf with a candle. A simple image. A place that asks nothing but presence. When the day has taken everything, they sit or lie down and return to this practice. The breath moves. The name flows softly. The body receives permission to rest. You may notice the jaw unclenching, the tongue relaxing against the roof of the mouth, the belly rising and falling without effort. Thoughts still appear, but they drift like clouds rather than storms. Sleep, when it comes, arrives gently without struggle. This is what it means to change karma in real time. Not erasing the past, but choosing a different movement in the present. Each breath paired with awareness is a seed planted. Each repetition of the Buddha's name is an offering of kindness to your own mind. No night needs to be perfect for this to work. Even a few moments of sincere practice matter. They matter because they teach the mind a new response to darkness. Instead of tightening it, learns to soften. Instead of racing, it learns to return. And when the mind learns how to return again and again, the night slowly becomes a place of refuge rather than struggle. This simple union of breath and sacred sound becomes a bridge carrying you from restlessness toward peace, one gentle moment at a time. So let the mind have a place to land gently and without effort as the night opens its quiet arms. This is a simple ritual meant to be done just before sleep, when the lights are low and the day has finally loosened its grip. It does not require special tools, perfect posture, or long preparation. Only a willingness to pause and offer yourself a few minutes of care. Begin by settling into your bed. Let the pillow support the weight of your head. The mattress receives your body without asking anything in return. If there is tension in your shoulders, notice how gravity slowly draws them down. The room is still. Perhaps a clock ticks softly. Perhaps there is only silence. Either way, you are safe to rest here. Allow your hands to rest comfortably, palms open or gently folded. The breath finds its own rhythm. There is no need to control it. Simply notice how the chest rises and falls, like a calm tide moving in and out. For the first minute, do nothing else. Just feel the breath. Cool air enters. Warm air leaves. The mind may wander. Thoughts may knock at the door. Let them pass without answering. Each time you realize you have drifted, return to the sensation of breathing, as if coming home after a long journey. As the second minute begins, gently introduce a quiet repetition. On the inhale, silently recite the first part of the Buddha's name. On the exhale, complete it. Let the sound move with the breath, unforced and soft, like a lullaby meant only for you. If the words fade or become unclear, that is fine. The intention remains. You may notice subtle changes. The jaw loosens. The tongue rests more easily in the mouth. The space between the eyebrows softens. These are signs the nervous system is beginning to settle, responding to kindness rather than command. In the third minute, allow the repetition to continue, but expand your awareness slightly. Feel the weight of your body being held. The legs grow heavy. The arms sink comfortably. The bed becomes a steady ground beneath you. With each breath and each quiet recitation, it is as if another layer of the day is being gently folded away. If an emotion arises, perhaps sadness or worry, do not push it aside. Notice where it lives in the body. Maybe a tightness in the chest, maybe a warmth behind the eyes. Breathe into that place. Let the sound of the Buddha's name wash over it like warm water. Nothing needs to be solved tonight. As the 4th minute passes, you may sense a change in the quality of thought. The images lose their sharp edges. Concerns feel more distant, as if viewed through a soft veil. This is not because they have disappeared, but because the mind is no longer gripping them tightly. Here is where the deeper teaching quietly unfolds. Each breath paired with awareness is a new movement of the mind. Each repetition of the sacred name interrupts an old pattern. This is how karma shifts, not by erasing the past, but by choosing a different response in the present. The mind learns through experience. Tonight, it is learning that stillness is safe. In the 5th minute, if you wish, place one hand gently over the heart. Feel its steady rhythm beneath your palm. This simple gesture brings warmth and reassurance. It reminds the body that it is cared for. Continue breathing and repeating softly, letting the sound and sensation blend into one gentle flow. Images may appear, perhaps a memory of someone you love, perhaps a scene of water moonlight or a quiet path. Allow these images to come and go naturally. Like leaves floating on a stream, they do not need to be held or examined. As the 6th minute arrives, the repetition may slow on its own. The breath deepens. Spaces of quiet appear between thoughts. In these spaces, there is nothing to do and nowhere to go. The mind rests in simple presence like a candle flame steady in a windless room. If drowsiness begins to pull you towards sleep, let it. There is no need to stay alert. This ritual is meant to guide you gently into rest. If you drift in and out of awareness, the practice continues on its own, carried by habit and intention. In the final minute, offer a quiet wish. It does not need words. A simple feeling is enough. A wish for peace. A wish for rest. A wish that the kindness you have offered yourself tonight may quietly support those you care about as well. Let this wish dissolve into the breath. When sleep comes, receive it without effort. If it takes time, remain with the practice, returning to the breath and the gentle repetition whenever the mind stirs. Each return is an act of patience. each moment of presence is a small gift to yourself. This simple ritual does not promise perfect nights. What it offers is something more reliable, a way to meet the night with softness rather than struggle. Over time, the mind remembers this feeling. The body recognizes the signal to rest, and the space before sleep becomes not a battlefield, but a sanctuary where the heart is allowed to finally lay its burdens down. As the breath grows quieter and the body settles into rest, the heart naturally turns outward toward those it loves. In this gentle space, thoughts of parents often arise without effort. A face appears, a familiar voice, a memory of hands that once guided, protected, or simply stayed close through difficult times. For many people, living far from where they were raised, this feeling comes with tenderness and ache intertwined. Parents may live across the country, across oceans, or only in memory now. The distance can feel heavier at night when the world slows down and the mind has room to feel what the day keeps at bay. You may picture your mother standing at the kitchen counter, the soft glow of a lamp warming the room, or your father sitting quietly, eyes tired yet kind, saying little but carrying much. These images arrive not to cause pain, but to remind the heart where it came from. Buddhist teachings speak gently about this turning of the heart. They remind us that care given inwardly does not end with ourselves. When the mind becomes calm and clear, its natural movement is toward gratitude and compassion. Offering a simple prayer for parents is not a duty imposed from outside. It is a natural expression of a heart that has softened. There is a quiet understanding here that many discover over time. Carrying worry for parents can feel like love, but it often tightens the chest and drains the spirit. A prayer offered with sincerity feels different. It opens the chest. It releases the sense of helplessness. It allows love to flow without strain. Imagine sitting quietly, the room dim, your breath slow and steady. As the name of the Buddha fades gently in the background of awareness, bring to mind your parents just as they are, not as you wish them to be, not as you fear they might become, simply as human beings who have lived, struggled, loved, and aged. Notice what happens in the body. The shoulders ease, the jaw softens, the heart feels warmer, less guarded. This is not sentimentality. It is connection. Buddhist wisdom teaches that intention carries great power. A sincere wish, held with a calm and focused mind, shapes the inner world. When the heart offers kindness, it is not depleted, it is strengthened. In this way, Praying for parents is not separate from caring for oneself. It is part of the same movement toward wholeness. Some people worry that prayer is meaningless if it cannot change circumstances, but the teaching points to something deeper. When the mind releases fear and clinging, the quality of presence changes. Conversations soften. Patience grows. Decisions become wiser. In subtle ways, this shift affects relationships and the atmosphere around us. There is a story often shared in Buddhist circles about a woman who prayed daily for her aging father. She lived far away and could not visit often. At first, her prayers were filled with anxiety, each word heavy with fear of loss. Over time, as her practice deepened, the tone of her prayers changed. They became quieter, steadier. When she spoke with her father, her voice was calmer. She listened more. She argued less. The connection between them grew lighter, even though the distance remained. This is how inner work becomes outer peace. In this quiet moment before sleep, you may offer a simple wish. There is no need for elaborate words. A few sincere thoughts are enough. You might imagine your parents surrounded by gentle light. You might wish for their health, their peace, their safety. Or you may simply wish that they feel less burdened wherever they are. If your relationship with your parents has been difficult, this practice can be especially healing. You do not need to deny pain or pretend everything is resolved. Simply acknowledging their humanity, their struggles, and your own is already an act of compassion. The heart does not need perfection to open. Buddhist teachings remind us that every act of kindness, whether toward ourselves or others, leaves an imprint. When we offer a prayer with a calm and sincere mind, we are cultivating a habit of goodwill. Over time, this habit becomes a refuge. The mind learns to rest in generosity rather than worry. As this offering is made, something unexpected often happens. The tight sense of responsibility begins to loosen. The belief that you must carry everything alone starts to soften. Love no longer feels like a burden. It becomes a quiet current flowing naturally. This is why dedicating a moment of calm to parents also lightens your own path. When the heart releases grasping and replaces it with sincere care, the body responds. The breath deepens. Sleep comes more easily. The night feels less lonely. In this way, a single prayer becomes a bridge. It connects past and present distance and closeness, effort, and ease. It honors where you come from while allowing you to move forward without heaviness. Rest here for a moment, letting this gentle connection settle. There is nothing more you need to do tonight. The heart has spoken. The wish has been offered. And in that simple act, both love and peace have been quietly renewed. The wish has been offered, and the heart grows quiet in its wake. In this stillness, there is nothing left to fix tonight, nothing left to carry. The body rests where it is. The breath moves on its own, and the mind no longer needs to search for answers. This is the simple truth. Many forget in a world that urges constant effort. Not everything must be solved at once. Not every worry needs a plan before morning. Sometimes, the most meaningful step is allowing the heart to rest. You may feel it now in small ways. The muscles around the eyes soften. The forehead smooths. The chest rises and falls without resistance. Even the thoughts that remain seem farther away, like distant lights on a quiet road. They are still there, but they no longer demand your attention. Buddhist wisdom teaches that peace does not arrive by force. It emerges when conditions are gentle enough for it to appear. A calm breath, a kind intention, a willingness to let the moment be exactly as it is. These are not grand gestures. They are small acts of trust, repeated night after night. When the mind learns, it does not have to stay alert to be safe. It begins to release its tight hold. The habits that once ran through the night lose their urgency. New rhythms form slower and steadier. This is how change truly happens, quietly, gradually, without struggle. Think of a lake at dusk. During the day, wind ripples the surface, scattering reflections. As evening settles, the air cools and the water grows still. Nothing has been forced. The conditions have simply shifted. In that stillness, the surface reflects the sky clearly again. Your mind works the same way. When effort softens into care, clarity returns on its own. You may notice that on nights like this, sleep feels different. It is not something you chase. It comes toward you gently, like a tide moving in. And if sleep does not come right away, there is no sense of failure. Rest itself becomes meaningful. Lying quietly breathing, allowing the heart to be at ease, is already a form of healing. The teachings shared tonight are not meant to be remembered perfectly. They are meant to be lived simply. One breath noticed, one kind thought offered, one moment of letting go. Over time, these moments add up. They shape the inner world in ways that words cannot fully capture. Tomorrow will arrive in its own way. Responsibilities will return. Decisions will wait. But they will meet a mind that has rested even briefly in gentleness. From that place, responses come more easily. Patience appears where there was tension. Understanding replaces urgency. This is why the path emphasizes tonight, not next month, not after everything improves. Just this moment, just this breath, just this small act of care. If the night feels long, remember that you are not alone in it. Many others are resting in the same quiet intention, allowing the mind to settle, offering kindness to themselves and to those they love. This shared intention creates a subtle connection felt even across distance. You may wish to return to this practice again, not as an obligation, but as a refuge, a familiar place the mind learns to trust. Each time you come back, the path becomes clearer, the night softer. As sleep approaches, allow gratitude to arise naturally. Gratitude for the body that carries you through each day. Gratitude for the heart that continues to care. Gratitude for the simple opportunity to rest. There is nothing more required of you tonight. Let the breath continue its gentle rhythm. Let the mind rest in what is. Let the night hold you. If these moments of calm bring you comfort, you are welcome to return here again. You may share this space with others who need rest, or quietly stay connected by listening whenever the night feels heavy. Each return strengthens the habit of kindness, both toward yourself and the world. May your sleep be peaceful. May your heart be light. And may the quiet you touch tonight continue to support you, one gentle step at a time.